wisio.
Set to a mod na wisio.
Wasaji fogu nyagwa singen.
Wasaji fogu nyagwa singen.
Okrasa tinadwe kasangen.
Okrasa tinadwe kasangen. Woku bada to baba de me fogu nyagwa se adunya chemera.
Yesterday, we were privileged to visit the National Police Headquarters, the people who are responsible for keeping us safe. Today, it is our honor to be in the citadel of the great institution whose mandate ultimately determines whether we have shelter over our heads, food on the table, and are able to provide for the education of our children and healthcare for our families. That, in short, summarizes the remit of the Bank of Ghana. And we are grateful to our respected governor, my son here, who, when he became the second deputy governor, I held his hands, and he's now the governor here sitting in this chair. And his deputies and the management for the kind invitation for us to be here today. Hardly do I come to Accra, so I've been spoken to about Bank of Ghana building, but then I've not even entered or seen the edifice till today. So I thank you very much for honoring me with this invitation. We are honored to be received by the entire team, including the Monetary Policy Committee, and particularly grateful for the opportunity to inspect your sparkling, bright new edifice. As my daughter, Mrs. King, said, that it is such an edifice that you can't miss. And I realized that from the open air when I was walking there, I think when you walk in here, your brains will be there like that to work properly for me. It is truly a magnificent edifice, truly fully benefiting the authority and power of the institution and the spirit and energy of the nation. It is without doubt a monument to our generation which will endure through time, and I mince no words in applauding the bank for the courageous commitment to deliver. I hope, Governor, that it inspires your staff to raise their performance to a level befitting the new environment. Of course, I do not forget, Governor and the deputies and your team, that this is the Bank of Ghana. You see, I've come to the view that when the scientists tell us that the higher you go, the cooler it becomes, they do not include institutions like the Bank of Ghana. Because in my experience dealing with all the governors of the bank during our reign, it's been evident that in this hallowed environment, the heat that encases you at the top is such that not even the combined energies of all the manpower, no, the brain power at your disposal, can generate sufficient power to cool them down. It is not nearly as comfortable as all the trappings may suggest. And yet, it is a job that must be done, and done well. And we are always enthralled by the incredible dedication we see here. The level of expertise within these walls is second to none, and I can confidently declare my trust in the capacity of the able young brains I see today to help the bank fulfill its mandate. Of course, we have always been there to help them, to help bring temperature down when the heat threatens to overpower everyone. We have been on hand to help open doors, but at home, both at home and abroad. So we have come to our beautiful home to see and thank the brainpower managing our beloved city, to encourage you to continue in your dedicated service, and to reassure you that whenever you feel the need for a shoulder to cry on, the doors are open. In accordance with our tradition, the language the traditional ruler speaks must be perfectly understandable to the ordinary trotro passenger. So when we speak of the mandate of the bank and the work you do, we do so without any pretentious jargons and simple layman's language, so that anyone from the ordinary person to the invested don can understand.
Sure.
I have summarized the mandate of the banks as that which will ultimately determine whether we have a roof over our heads, food on the table, clothes to wear, and the ability to provide for our education and healthcare.
Sure.
That is no exaggeration. You are responsible for the national currency, and you are also responsible for fixing the interests that determine the rate at which we can borrow money.
Sure.
It is a fact of history that when the currency is healthy, the economy bristles with opportunities. The people are able to use the opportunities to create business. The business allows the people to create jobs and ultimately work in wealth. When the city wobbles, even the tsunami can be less destructive.
Sure.
Over the past year, after a difficult period, we have begun to breathe easy as the city stabilizes on the foreign exchange market.
Sure.
We recognize these are only the early stools of progress, and one will do well to be careful not to start feasting, as the governor said, before the true state of the harvest is known.
Sure.
Nonetheless, we think it is appropriate to acknowledge the discernible shift in direction and to encourage you to take any measure that will keep us on the right trajectory. So I'm here to encourage you.
Sure.
We have come not to preach to the experts, because you are the experts. We are just laymen living in Manchia, not knowing anything to do, but we have to fall on you.
Sure.
And I said to the governor and his two deputies that once I'm here with 2-3 people who have the money, this year I'll be rich.
Sure.
We have come not to preach to the experts, but to listen, and I thank the governor for the arrangements for a private session where we can exchange views on issues that must necessarily be heard behind closed doors.
Sure.
I hope the unavoidable attention being paid to the city does not mean we are relegating the second mandate of the bank, which has to do with interest rates, to the back burner. I noticed that interest rates too have begun coming down, but from past experience, we are going to find ways of accelerating the pace.
Sure.
Let me be as blunt as I can. No amount of investment by government on its own can scratch the surface of what we need to give ourselves a sound economy.
Sure.
Nor can we expect in this era of international discord to rely on foreign investments of any significance. This moment calls for a massive push to stimulate domestic private investment in industry. That cannot happen with interest at their current cutthroat rate and level. The challenge I leave with your creative brains is to fashion how you move the economy from the crippling high interest regime to the level where it becomes a stimulant of business and wealth creation.
Sure.
The second issue I wish to touch on is the bank of the public in the public sphere. This is a unique institution with a mandate that ultimately affects every citizen of the land. Ideally, this citadel should be a fortress, insulated from the strings and arrows of political warfare. Whatever it is, we should think twice before we do anything which has the capacity to cast a stain on the integrity of the bank.
Sure.
I will appeal to the nation, to both sides of the political divide, to give the governor, my son, and his team a chance. Give them the respect and the space to perform their professional duties. Support them along the right path and offer counsel as necessary for the good of the bank.
Sure.
This is our bank we have entrusted to them. It is our lives we have placed in their hands. If they fail, we risk collapse.
Sure.
If they succeed, we walk in wealth and glory. Thank you, my son, Governor.
Sure.
And thank you, the deputies and the management board. Thank you also for the MPC and the executive.
Sure.
Thank you, management and staff. May we be showered with the blessings of peace, prosperity, wealth and happiness to the glory of God and Mother Ghana. Thank you very much.
Your Royal Majesty, we thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, on the program, you will see there's a small, short slot for interaction with management and the Board of Directors on economic developments. I would like to give the floor 15 seconds to ask or to make one important contribution here in the presence of His Royal Majesty. Is anybody bold enough to target this, add this to your 2026 targets and KPIs? 5 seconds more. Then I take it that we have enjoyed the welcome remarks, we have enjoyed the contributory remarks by our special guest of honor, and I may ask you for a resounding round of applause. And now on the program, we will now bid farewell to our special guest of honor. And I know that the governor and him will have a few conversations with some of the executive and the board members in a private meeting. So ladies and gentlemen, may I humbly ask that you remain seated, or actually remain in your seat, while we bid farewell to His Royal Majesty Otumfuo Osei Tutu II. And if you've been invited previously to join these private meetings, please do make your way to the location or the venue for that meeting. Until then, we would like to bid farewell to you, Your Royal Majesty Otumfuo Osei Tutu II, King of the Ashanti and leader extraordinaire. Ladies and gentlemen, please, a round of applause for our special guest of honor and also our Governor of the Bank of Ghana. And as they bid us farewell, please remain in your seats. Let's grant them the respect and honor of the space to migrate to the location and venue for their meeting. Nana. Humbly ask the Ghana Armed Forces Band to provide us with an interlude as our special honor, and the Bank of Ghana's governor bid us farewell. Bank of Ghana bidding us farewell to the interlude of the Ghana Armed Forces. Ladies and gentlemen, as we enjoy the musical interlude from the Ghana Armed Forces Band, please remain in this room for a small cocktail, some finger food, something to drink before you depart.
For every day, go to Brofo, and another one free. I'm out for go to Brofo, and another penny for every day, go to Brofo, and another one free. Germans and Tosoma, no one no for. Nelson was a Sunday order. I'm out for me near Vetra, the day Canada. Tema for mafusa mesumatria aya wonyame etubetana sanye ya sama comment efise kuntruya ya nachira nako etinti odi echera no swara dia bichara para na wasuamba eko tibofo anana no mpedefo efetiti eko tibofo anana no free no one's inside the order. I'm up for me, dear better. A deep Canada. It's a month for some symmetry. I own your man. A two matana sanya, a summer comment. If it's a country, Big Joe, lecture no come. Etinti de echa no so running dia bicha rampa na waso abai eko tibrafo anana no penifo everything eko tibrafo anana no free ebo sa umaya no bio adaka me ashu sa Umaya numbio, daka